Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Missing Sock. Welcome back for more game news and trailers, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of a review, a bit of a Red Dead Redemption 2 breakdown, trailer breakdown, information breakdown. So I talked about this when we reviewed the 3-in-1 trailers the other day, but I didn't want to make that video too long, so I thought we'd save our conversation for now, for this one. So it's Red Dead Redemption 2. So we'll take the approach, I'll try to inform you guys as much as I can for any players that did not play Red Dead Redemption 1. And you do not need to have played Red Dead Redemption 1, I don't think. Although this is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption. So it is a prequel. It is loosely connected to the first Red Dead, but it's a whole different story. Yeah, America 1899. And in the first game, it was actually in, what did I write down? Yeah, 1911. So, yeah, the first game came out in 2010. And I think they were actually working on it since 2005. And, it took place in 1911. So this is about 12 years beforehand. 12 years before Red Dead Redemption is Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, America 1899. The end of the Wild West era has begun as lawmen hunt down the last remaining outlaw gangs. Those who will not surrender or succumb are killed. After robbery goes badly wrong in the western town of Blackwater, Arthur Morgan and Vanderlyn gang are forced to flee. With federal agents and the best bounty hunters in the nation massing on their heels, the gang must rob, steal, and fight their way across the rugged heartland of America in order to survive. As deepening internal divisions threaten to tear the gang apart, Arthur must make a choice between his own ideals and loyalty to the gang who raised him. And Arthur is your character. Arthur Morgan, I believe, from the creators of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an epic tale of life in America at the dawn of the modern age. And it's coming, for now, October 26, 2018. And I think that's their third or fourth release date, so I don't know if I'd put much weight on that. Although, it's now getting on, so I would hope that there's a good chance of it coming out. But it wouldn't surprise me if, it wouldn't be that big of a surprise if they set it back for November or something like that. Yeah, to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One systems. Hard to say if they'll ever have a PC one. People hope. I hope. And it probably will be long after the other ones. But at the same time, they never did have a PC version of Red Dead 1. And even now, they can make money off of a PC version, and they never did. So it's unfortunate. Don't know why they did. But, people who know that worry that they may never see a PC version of this. Unfortunately. Yeah, so let's move on to the next stuff here. So on their website, you can go to the Red Dead Redemption 2 website, and they've got a bunch of, this is just their various news. So we covered this too on our GTA. So for any of you guys that are GTA players, GTAOnline, you can get the double action revolver. They brought that out a few months back. I guess it was around, last year, as a promotion for it. And you can get that in an easy 250,000. So we made a little video for that one. And their trailers. Yeah. Now, this is the artwork, too, so if any of you guys want to get any of that artwork or put it on your desktop or any avatars, this is where you can get them right from there. Various stuff in their artwork. Just bring that up here again. You can see the gang there and whatnot. There's Arthur Morgan, your character. Yeah, these are the screens we were looking at in the other video. They show some good details. So this has all been single player so far. So a lot of people have been wondering about the multiplayer. Well, so far to date, there's been no real confirmed online information. Now, that said, just over a year ago, I think, it was the CEO did mention that they did not believe, I think it was Take-Two Interactive's CEO, that they did not believe that it would compete with GTAOnline, that it was one or the other. And I kind of agreed. Personally, I kind of agreed. Like, just because I play this does not mean I'm not going to play Grand Theft Auto Online. And just because, in either way, vice versa. They're two totally different games. Similar, same company. But not the same kind of game, if you ask me. Not one winning over the other one. More likely I'd play both. Yeah. So we'll go back through these next trailers here. This is the first announcement trailer again. Yeah. Now, as you guys can see, they've got all the open worldness to it. Now, they, in the interest of what I was telling you, so there is some information out there. Look at the wildlife and the openness. Now, in the past Red Dead, and much like GTA, everything you see you can get to. So, we don't know, this game's not out yet, but I would imagine it's just the same as all the other ones and Red Dead, that you'd be able to go this far, like all the way up those mountains. Everywhere you see in the horizon is usually you can eventually get there. Yeah. Yeah. Now, a little while ago, a few months back, I think it was with Trusted Reviews, they had some information come out. Now, just so you guys know, this is unsubstantiated leak, but it seems to have some weight because they were unsure too. So I guess it was the end of last year, 2017, they got some pictures along with some notes about the game, and it showed pictures of the game, but they were, unconvinced that it was real. A lot of bogus information out there. And later on, Rockstar released some pictures of the game, the screens that we already seen, and that kind of confirmed that their pictures were real because they were showing the same characters but from different angles and stuff. So it was a legitimate leak. Yeah. So in these notes, so like I said, it's hard to say if they're substantiated, but the pictures were good, were real. Not that they're anything special, I'd show you guys, but they're just showing character faces and later on confirmed to be real characters, not just a made-up, bogus lie, hoax from somebody. But anyway, in there they were talking about that the online would be very similar, that you'd be able to run around in the open world, that there would be game modes like battle modes, team death matches, battle royale type modes, and it sounds like possibly some kind of a Fortnite type idea or player battlegrounds unknown. PUBG. So it sounds like similar to that, but at the same time, there'd be an open world. You'd be able to adventure. Lots of things you can do. Apparently, it sounds like you can fish, you can hunt. And in the first Red Dead, you could hunt as well. It was actually a really good game. Like I said, I was unconvinced at first, like a Grand Theft Auto game in the Wild West, but it actually works really, really well. So if you've already played Grand Theft Auto, you'll have a head start on playing this game. You'll find it a very natural fit. Very, very similar in design if they're anything like the first one was. So if you played Grand Theft Auto and you picked up Red Dead Redemption 1, you'd be just fine in a sense. Very similar controls. The sharpshooting abilities, in single player, were usually where they developed the Deadeye system, and that's very similar to Michael's ability. So more or less where they probably got Michael's ability idea from. So if you remember, it kind of slows down time and he can sharpshoot with his guns. Yeah, and that was Michael's special ability in Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, in Red Dead Redemption, that was a key part of it, for the single player anyway. And it seems like that's the case for the new one now too. We'll just go a little bit full screen here. Yeah, this one's the latest trailer. Trailer number 3. Yeah, so then you can see the different terrains like hot weather and cold weather and snow and all that. Detail work on the guns there. Yep, all this detail work right here. And I imagine that for the online component, so, we're probably going to see that. It's hard to say if we're going to see any shark guards or or what they'll call them. I don't know. Buffalo guards were suggested. But it's hard to say if we'll see that. Very likely, because, they've made a lot of money with Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and they still are. That said, the old Red Dead had a lot of gambling in it, and I would imagine that this one, too, has a lot of gambling in it. And Rockstar's ran into troubles in the past. I think, a lot of people suspect that this is why in Grand Theft Auto in San Andreas, the casino doesn't really work. And I would think that that's true. For you guys that know where the casino is on the map, we've been there a few times. There's a horse track out back, and there's nothing there, really. It's kind of odd that they put all that effort in and there's nothing. Well, to a lot of people, what actually happened is that, they have to be careful. Like, you can do minor bets, I think, because it's only like worth a few pennies when you're betting on a race kind of thing as far as real life money goes. But to actually do more than that, I think it runs into some troubles. So because they sell shark cards, it becomes a way that you could be basically they would be an online gambling company if they allowed the casino to open properly. I know it sounds funny to people, but legally speaking, there's a lot of issues with that. So they'd have to get approval from various countries, from the U.S. government, from all kinds of things, and a whole lot of oversight, just like a gambling online company would go through. Yeah. So most people suspect, and it sounds like a really good reason, why the casino in GTAOnline does not work. Now, going back to Red Dead here, in the first one, it had a lot of gambling. It was a key part of it. I mean, it's the Wild West, you've got gambling going on in the saloons and all that kind of stuff. I would think that, from what the suggestions there are, and then in the notes, there would be a lot of gambling in that too. So if that's got to work, then they can't. I don't know if they're going to be able to sell any kind of shark cards or anything unless they go through all the steps to become a online gambling company. Yeah, to be allowed to, because otherwise, they run into that same problem. So the other solution is that maybe they won't sell shark cards, and then it won't matter if it's all in-game money. There are other ways they can do that, sell you expansions later or things like that, if they wanted to make more money without necessarily going into the shark card way. Yeah, but anyway, moving on from that question, people wondered, well, how could it be the same? Because it's back in time. There's no jet fighters, there's no boats, there's no things like Grand Theft Auto Online has to buy. But I think they're being kind of short-sighted. Like you see in the trailers here, all the equipment they're doing, the fancy work on their weapons, their outfits, all the different clothing options that you could buy in the game as an online player, not single player. Although I'm sure single player have a lot of that in there. Yeah. But all the different types of outfits, like in jewelry like he's got there, and different guns and different weapons, that would be a huge category right there. I can back that up. Seeing this, you see some fighting going on. Not just that action moment here. It takes him down. But this is like a brawl and other people are watching. Yeah. Not sure if you play those or if that's just a cutscene. She's taking the knife out. Yeah, in the first one you could hunt, and I would imagine in this one you could too. And you'd literally be able to skin the animal and sell the skins and everything. Yeah, so you went through the whole process, not just simply hunted and that was it. It was the whole process if you wanted it to be. Yep. Yep, and the dueling worked really well. So I think we're seeing a duel right here. Because you see the guy over there just for a split second. And they're both drawing. Draw. Yeah, inns and in the other pictures we could slow down. There's mortuaries and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, knives. So you'd be able to spend money on a lot of that stuff. I think you'd also be spending money on your saddle, on your horse, and then moving forward from that, you'd probably be able to spend money on things like ranches, land, properties, businesses, like saloons or other types of businesses. Who knows? Carriage running or gun running or protection services. There's a ton of stuff I could think of that they could expand it with. Yeah. That would keep to the game. Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah. So, some definite information they were talking about in the leak that you'd be able to buy tents that you'd be able to set up in the open world, in the online world. Things like that. So, but I think the tents is small. I've got a feeling they're going to have some bigger ideas than that. Some properties or businesses or, like I said, ranches and land and things like that. And then further that, they could even, you could have to gather resources or money to be able to build your homestead and things like that. As well as things like the business, like what will you have on your homestead. In the other trailers here, we've got the cattle and things like that moving around, lots of wildlife. So lots of different things you could do as your business. Yeah, there's watercraft. So they were talking about fishing and using different lines, baits, tackles. But here you can see them going through on the boat. So, boats are in the game. Canoes. Yeah. There's a bunch of buffalo. Pretty cool. And trains should be able to transport you various, all the way across the map. So be a form of faster transportation. That's what we're looking at here, not there, but just before it. Yeah, so all the cattle going by. Now you would think if you're a rancher, you'd have to spend money on your cattle, or could spend money to buy them to get it going faster, or to increase the size, things like that. And later on have to rustle them up or herd them or all that kind of stuff. Yeah. As well as the kind of things that you would expect, like posses and bounties and being a bounty and chasing down a bounty, all kinds of things like that too. Yeah, so I think they've got lots of room to do lots of things in there. Yeah. I think in the single player we'll see some of the stuff that you would see later on in the online. But yeah, he's drying hides. And lots of campfires in the videos too. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go back to that original trailer. Where's it here? And there's the one scene. Yeah. Right there. Where you can see them, where there's guys sitting right there. Looks really good. Sitting right on the coast. Or on the shoreline, I guess, of a river, perhaps. The stars up there. Awesome. And that looks like a pack horse there. So you've got like not just horses for riding, but horses for work. Or a donkey, perhaps. But it's definitely carrying the hide for the guy. It's just a very short scene, isn't it? Let's back it up. But yeah, you can see he's got carrying along. Guy walking alongside it. There's a nice homestead looking area, land. All the mountains way back there. And like I said, you should be able to travel them all. And they said it covered over 3 states, but I think the other one nearly did too. The other one had 2 fictional states and the fictional parts of Mexico, of northern Mexico. So it might be similar, but I would hope it would be bigger this time around. Yeah, the robbery. And train fighting. That's always essential. But yeah, basically in the first one, and hopefully during the second one, but anything you can think of from a well-known Western movie was in there. And a lot of times even the soundtrack too, for that matter. So you'd hear the songs and all that kind of stuff. It was awesome. Plus their own amazing musical score added to it too, as well. Yep, looks good, guys. Very good. Red Dead Redemption 2. Alright, so this is just my rambling video. I'm just taking apart all the little things that I know about it, and all the little things that I can see in the trailers. And we'll have to check it out when they release some more information, or maybe come October 2018. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I'm the Missing Sock. See you again next time.
You have got to keep faith. They will not crush us.